Well, folks, thank you for coming, and we're just going to wait a few more minutes to let people all come in. And we have a nice contingent of people from Southern Oregon down in Jackson County. Um, so that signed up because of the efforts of their chair and talking to them and encouraging them to come. So thank you for coming. It's good to we're about school boards here, and we're about school boards across Oregon. Eleanor is raising her thumb. She's from that area, aren't you, Eleanor? You're from.
Yeah, I'm in Jackson County. I'm actually an elected already on the city council in Talent, but also running for a fire district board. But oh my gosh, you're right. That's where it's at. The school board is crazy right now with the Christian nationalist takeovers
Mm,
that are
mm.
happening. Yeah. So and as I was telling you, Danielle, we're just seeing the last few election cycles, we've seen some really sneaky stuff from the right wing trying to really hide where they're coming from. So it's been
Wow.
interesting.
Great. Yeah, I was just saying to everybody, and we're getting more folks. It's looking really good. We've got 23 folks here. Um, thank you all for coming. We're just kind of waiting for people to come in. I'm admitting them because a number of you I called today. I already talked to you just to check. I didn't know you. I didn't know what race you were coming from. For the Multnomah folks, you can be really happy that David Sowers down there in Southern Oregon recruited like 8 people to come to this workshop.
Nice.
And we're real proud to have those folks here because, it's really important across the whole state, educating our children for the future and creating school boards that support that education. Uh, so we're going to wait. Henry is trying to sign in. Okay. Add room 7. Okay, great. Good. And so we have 7 breakout rooms at this point. Um, the way as we get gathering here, we will ultimately end up going into breakout rooms. And first of all, we'll talk a little bit and people introduce themselves pretty quickly and just say where you're from or what you're running for. Or if you're supporting a candidate, just say what candidate you're supporting and for what race, because I'm real proud of all of you for stepping up. And if you are on the team here, team campaign committee from Multnomah Democrats, just identify yourself as that, because we have 7 people here, and then we have 2 tech people helping us make this work for all of you. And I'll introduce myself. I guess we'll go around and do introductions now, and I'm trying to also keep up. Oh, more people. I'll let them in. There they come. We've got a good group of people here, 25. That's great so far. Um, okay, I'm Danelle Stevens. I'm the chair of the campaign committee for Multnomah Democrats. Um, my my deep involvement with the Democratic Party in Oregon began in 2016 with, what happened in 2016, the devastation of not the election. And I happened to retire that year, and I worked at Portland State. I was a teacher educator. I worked with teachers all my life. I was a teacher, high school teacher for 14 years. So I have a deep love and care and concern for what happens in schools. And I'm really, really happy to work with you folks and to support your successful candidacy and our moving our school boards forwards with the heart and soul of our children, carrying that with us in every decision we make. And um, that's really, really exciting. So, okay. So, and I'm chair of this committee. I've gotten involved in the Dems quite deeply just because I felt like, well, guess what I get to do in retirement? I get to make sure, assure some of my own personal values are um, out there and can help people in my care and concern. Okay, so I'm actually going to call on people because it's so much easier in Zoom rather than have people we wait because we have no body language in Zoom. So I'm just going to look at the boxes as they go across my screen. And the one in the top left is Louise Curran. Just say your name and your role in this event.
Okay, I'm Louise Curran, and I'm going to be a facilitator this afternoon.
And you're a PCP.
I'm a PCP, and I've been active both in the Washington County and now the MultDems since about 2010.
Great. Eileen? I'm going to do Eileen, Peter, then Deanne and Stephanie.
Yes, and can you resend Henry the link? I am Eileen Lipkin. I am with the Campaign and Candidate Committee. And I am available to be a follow-up coach if you need to, call and work on a little more after this. I've been on the campaign committee for, I don't know, 6 or so years. I also I'm a PCP in 38, and so I do neighborhood leader work too. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Peter.
Hello, everybody. I'm Peter Nordby. I'm a member of the campaign committee, and I have been a teacher and administrator for 35 years in public education. I've taught at every level except preschool. And I was chair of the Democratic Party in Clackamas County, and I've run for office back in 2012 for state representative unsuccessfully.
But you have experience.
But I have experience and I had a lot of fun.
Okay. So it's Dean, Stephanie Lunsford. Whoops, that switched. Dean, Pam Shields, Noel, and Margaret.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Dean. I'm a PCP. I serve in Portland Children's Levy, the Oregon Commission on Autism, district leader, District 47 here, and a bunch of other positions. I'm running for David Douglas School Board position 3 and just got a major endorsement in the past day or so. So things are going well, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Pam.
Pam Shields, Centennial School District. I'm currently the vice chair of the school board, and I'm running for re-election.
Got it. Noel.
I'm down in Ashland, Oregon. I'm one of the folks that David Sowers recruited for this call, running for Ashland School Board position 3. And I am lived in Ashland for 30 years, a supply chain consultant.
Great. Margaret, Eleanor, and William Moring.
All right, I'm Margaret Foley. I'm a Multnomah County Democrat, PCP. I work a lot with the campaign committee, and I have a lot of experience, worked on a lot of campaigns with a lot of candidates. So I believe I am going to be helping in one of the breakout rooms.
Absolutely. Whoops, I got to give you a room. Okay. Eleanor.
Yeah, Eleanor Ponomreff. I'm down in Southern Oregon in Talent. I'm an elected Talent City Council. I'm on the campaign committee with the Jackson County Dems. And I've been involved, I think, since 2017 or so. And I'm also helping candidates, mentoring candidates as needed. But I'm really looking forward to learning more tips and tricks.
Thank you very much. Okay, it's William Moring and Ed. What?
No, really quick. We have 5 people in the waiting room. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. All right. Ooh, good.
Great.
I can't, I don't know why I don't see them over here.
Yeah. I can read names if you want to just yes or no it.
Just let them in. I've gone through the
Okay.
whole list. I really went through the list today, so I think we're fine. Okay. All right. So we have William, Angela, Matthew, Zach, and Deltra.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. William Moring. I currently serve on the Centennial School Board. I was appointed to an open seat 6 months ago, and now I'm running for a full 4-year term this spring.
Terrific.
Hi there, I'm Angela Bukowski, also down in Medford, running for position 1. And it is getting wild down here in Medford, so we're so grateful for a few extra resources to help us run our best campaigns.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Matt Farnham. I'm a recently elected PCP from House District 42 and a recent addition to the campaign committee, and I'll be helping facilitate today. Thanks.
Great. Zach, Deltra, Diana, and Jose.
Thanks, Danelle. Hi, everybody. Zach Fuller here. I'm a PCP here in 41, as well as the assistant district leader. Been on the campaign committee here for, I don't know, 8 or 9 months now, helping out. Going to be facilitating one of the breakout rooms today, as well as presenting some non-examples of voter pamphlets for us to critique and improve together.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name's Deltra Ferguson. I'm down in Southern Oregon, running for school board in Ashland. As of today, I filed. Hello, Noelle. Noelle and I are running against each other. It's my pleasure really to do this, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Great. Diana, it looks like she's out, not quite there yet or something. Did we get all the people in from the waiting room? By the way.
Yeah, we're good. Welcome,
We're
everybody.
Okay, because someone put something in the chat and for some reason I couldn't see them over here. Okay. Let's see. PCP is a precinct committee person. Oh, I'm so sorry. We just make assumptions all the time about those acronyms and sorry about that. Okay, so Jose, Kara, is that, I don't know if you're saying it correctly, Stephanie and Sarah. And go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Jose Gamero Georgeson. I'm currently a board member at the David Douglas School Board. I was appointed in February, so I'm running for election to my seat. I also recently got elected to the Oregon School Board Association, so I sit on the board of directors there as well. Long time PCP and do various things within the party as well, including handle the van access for all these races.
For Multnomah County, right?
Yes, for our county, sorry.
Not for the state. Okay, Kara?
Hi, my name is Kara Clark, and I am running for the Westland-Wilsonville School Board in Clackamas County in position number 1. It is my first election, so I am learning and trying to gather all the information as I go, but I've been a long-time advocate in the school districts.
Great. Okay, Stephanie, Sarah, Henry, and Virginia.
I am Stephanie.
Oh, one
there's 2 of
Stephanie.
us.
We've got several Stephanie. Stephanie Lunsford.
Okay, so I'm Stephanie. I'm in Albany, Oregon, running for school board, and this is also my first time running for anything. So,
terrific. Thank you.
It's quite a learning process.
Ooh. Okay, Sarah, Henry, Virginia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Epstein. I'm in East County, Portland, and I'm running for David Douglas School District Position 3. This is also my first time running, and I'm very excited. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Sarah. Henry, Virginia, William Miller.
Although,
I'll go first.
oh, go ahead.
I'm Henry. I'm on the committee that was chosen by Danelle to assist those of you who are running again or for the first time. And I'm really impressed with all of you so far.
I'm Virginia Lafort, and this is my second time running for the PPS Board of Directors in Zone 5. I'm a 20-year resident of Portland, and I have 2 teen boys. One is a recent graduate of Grant High School. He's studying public policy and political science. And I have another new freshman at Grant. So I've got 4 more years there as well, and I'm a longtime advocate for students in Portland Public Schools.
Terrific.
Hey folks, Will Miller, he, him pronouns. second time running. I ran for state representative in House District 50 in 2020. Came up short in that race. Now running for Mount Hood Community College Board of Directors, Zone 2. Excited to be with you all tonight.
Thank you. Stephanie Engelstrom, Rob Galanakis. I hope I said that right. I hope you'll tell me if I have. And Thomas Stevenson.
Hi, I am Stephanie Engelsman. Nice to be here. Thank you so much for hosting this. I am running my first election in Zone 6, which Rob is also running for. Hi, Rob. I've lived in Portland for 23 years. When I graduated from law school here, career public defender. I've got 3 kids in elementary school. Community organizer, grassroots person, lifelong vegetarianism, which goes right into environmentalism. I'm so glad to be here and to learn from all of you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm Rob Galanakis. I'm running for Zone 6 School Board at PPS, also my first campaign. So happy to be here to learn.
That's my phone, the crickets, sorry. I can't talk
That was
right
me.
now.
Sorry. I'm Tom Stevenson. I am running for seat 5 at the David Douglas School District in Portland. And this is my first campaign, but I made an attempt at an appointment and luckily failed to Jose Gamero Georgeson because he's been fantastic on the board. And Heather Franklin of the board approached me to run. So here I am running. And then you can blame me for Sarah Epstein because I made her board curious and now she's board running.
Okay, Kathy, Eric, and Jen.
Okay, me?
Yeah?
I didn't know if there was another Kathy on here. Sorry, I had to hop on a little bit late. I am on the campaign committee and I'm here to help. I'm a former school board member, elected and reelected, also helped pass a big construction bond. All of this was down in Los Angeles County, some 2009, 2013, 2014.
Hi, I'm Eric Johnson. I'm a recently appointed PCP in Jackson County, and I'm running for school board in Medford. It's my first time running for an election.
Hi there, my name is Jen Lynch. I am a first-time candidate as well. I'm running for Ben Lapine Schools, Zone 1.
Okay, okay, I have somebody who's trying to get in. Unfortunately, I can't help them right now. That's why they're calling me. Okay, so I think that's everybody. Did everybody get a chance to speak? Did anybody not get a chance to speak? How'd we do? Dynamite, that's great. Well, and we also have, for the breakout rooms, I'm just going to call them out so that the facilitators know the numbers. And so Louise is 1, Matt is 2, Zach is 3, Eileen is 4, and Peter's 4. 5 is Kathy, 6 is me, 7 is Henry, and 8 is Margaret. And Mike has his hand up. Yes, Mike.
Yeah, I seem to be having a glitch with Zoom or something. Breakout rooms are not able to get started.
I've got them.
You do. You got them.
Yeah, I'm assigned.
And we're not doing them right now. So you guys have about a half an hour.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay, good.
We're not doing them right away. Okay.
great.
Somebody let that other person in though, Kenna.
Yeah, I don't, this phone number, let's see. 971-271. I don't know who it is. I'm trying to get in the training. I think this person needs to give me their name. Then I can let them in. Okay, if you want me to wait a second, can you wait a second? You take a deep breath for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, just a second.
Who has an animal in the room? Show us your animals on the screen, please.
Danelle, give me the phone number. I'll call him.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So many cats.
Who's trying to get in?
Good cats.
If I wake my dog up, he'll be like up
Okay,
in my
just a minute.
business.
I'm
So I
gonna
just
have
showed him to you. He's sleeping.
You know what? I got Linda Carlson.
Just found a link.
This is Penny.
Oh, okay.
Here I am. Bye.
Bye, Penny.
Hi.
I love seeing everybody's fur babies.
Oh my
Danny.
goodness, what beautiful
babies.
dogs.
Thank you,
Thank
Kenna.
you.
I think we just talked to her and she said she thinks she found the link, but Eileen, I'm going to put her number. Is she joined the waiting room? It's Melinda Carlson from.
I'm in.
You're in. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Melinda. You have one
Yes.
job right away. Okay. Your job is to
Cool.
tell us who you are and what you're running for.
Melinda Carlson, Corbett School Board.
Okay. That's easy. Okay. There we are. Okay. So I'd like to welcome you to our voter pamphlet training workshop. And basically, what we're going to do is initially, we're going to show a video about the voter pamphlet from the Democratic Party of Oregon. It's quite a nice video about and gives you some good tips. And then we'll have a little discussion of that. And then I'm going to, following that, talk to you a little bit about some of the parameters of running and some of the resources that we have available to you. And then we're going to just talk about this written structure of the voter pamphlet and what are the requirements and the kind of, there's actually, not to scare you, but there's a 325 word count limit. And so most of you know that. I see some nods around the room, and that's not very many words to get across who you are and what you care about, as well as all the other requirements of the voter pamphlet. Yet, as Ron Morgan from the Democratic Party of Oregon, the initial organizer, he says, the voter pamphlet is the one thing that goes to every single voter and is the one thing that they read and know and feel that it is less biased, less tainted by political messaging. So people depend on on what you say in the voter pamphlet to help them make a good decision. It's also the place where people can compare candidates pretty easily and readily. So that your time spent on crafting that document is well spent. And so what we thought we would do today is to give you some hints and tips. We have like 8 facilitators here. Ultimately, we'll go into breakout rooms of about 2 or 3 people per room and give you a long space of time. We'll do a little writing in the beginning as a group, just on a template. But then we'll go to breakout rooms and you can discuss what you wrote and do some more writing with your mentors in the room, the facilitators, who are voters, who have looked over the voter pamphlet and have found some things that they liked and things that they felt were distracting, and they want to share that information with you. So so that's kind of the layout. First, we'll watch a video. We'll have any notes or ideas you have from the video, questions you have, comments, and then we'll share some resources. Then we will look at what are strong and weak voter pamphlet statements. And then I have a template for you to use that we can, that you can take down from the chat, download it from the chat, and jot some notes about different sections of the voter pamphlet. Does that sound pretty good? It's 2 hours, and your time in your breakout room should be about 45 minutes. So you'll have a good length of time to work with 2 or 3 other people who you would consider your audience as you go forward out into the world with your message to the voters. Okay. So now I'm going to have to, how will my tech team, how do you want me to send you this video?
Oh.
Let's see. I can do this. I'll do this. I'll tell you what. We didn't.
While you're doing that, I will add something here, okay?
Okay, good. Good.
To everyone. If you don't already have some paper and or pen and pencil or pencil and paper, I recommend getting it because we are going to be doing some writing at the end of this part one. The initial quick notes draft, filling in the form, and then in breakout rooms, we will have you elaborate on that and share it with your small group there in the breakout room for feedback. So writing it down would be a good idea.
Eileen, may I add something?
Yes.
This is
you.
Henry. Or Danielle, are you ready?
No, I'm not ready yet. So go ahead and
Okay.
add something.
So Danielle and Eileen have qualified all of us who have volunteered to assist you with your campaign. So each one of us has some interesting experience in our background that suggests that we do have something to offer. So we weren't just picked at random from the voter rolls.
That's true. That's true. That's true. And they've also they've looked at the voter pamphlets and they've some of them have been candidates before, some of them are trainers, some of them are informed citizens, some of them are, there's a variety of people. Okay, I think I just sent you guys the YouTube video.
While you're working on getting that video up, I will keep adding a couple of things, okay?
Yeah, Eileen's done a lot of
Ready
thinking
to
about
go.
this.
Are
so-
you ready to go?
No,
Already?
go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I have to remember what it was. Sorry. Yeah, so you can probably all of you have done this already, but you can access the information on your county election site for just what are the requirements of the voters pamphlet submission. And the deadline is March 24th, 5 p.m. And you will be submitting, at least in Multnomah County, you will be submitting by email. The instructions are all in a form, and as soon as I can figure out how to do it, I will put it in the chat or have Danelle put it in the chat. The other, in addition to the 325 words, there is a fee. There is a submission fee for the Multnomah County pamphlet. It's $25. And the 325 words includes a number, if you put a number in, anything, as they say, with white space around it. So you have to be really careful of your submission count because they will cut you off. There it is.
I could do it. I can do it. I forgot I can do it. I don't have to depend on them.
And
Okay, here
Danielle,
we
do
go.
you- Oh, you're.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
Did you
I got it,
share
team.
audio?
Okay, so this is thank you for your patience, everybody. This is 3 minutes only. 3 minutes only.
Sometimes audio does.
Oh, sorry.
I think are we ready? Is it good?
Yeah.
We see it. It's good.
Yes, so you gotta share audio at the same time. It's a
I have to do what?
You have to also share audio. So when you hit share, there's a second option. When you select your screen, on that same screen,
All participants. All participants.
there is a nope. So you hit share, and
Did I do it?
nope. Hit share,
Okay. Share.
and then on that screen where you're picking which screen you're going to share, on the far right at the bottom, there's a little icon. There's a little check box for also share audio. Make sure you click that.
I think you have to unshare and reshare, Dano.
Yeah.
All right. This is a team effort here. Okay. I'm going to unshare and reshare. Sorry, guys. We should practice this. Okay. Now what? I'm sorry. And this video is so important. Okay.
I've got it set up. Got it ready to go.
Are you going to do it?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. All right.
Hi, my name is Felicita Monteblanco, and I serve on the board of directors for the Tualatin Hills Park and Recreation District. But before
you hear
that,
it?
I was just like you, running for office, and I wasn't entirely sure where to start. So I want to talk to you about one of the most critical pieces, which is a strong, effective candidate statement for the voter information pamphlet. The voter information pamphlet is mailed to every household in your district. And because it's an official document, voters often rely on it more than campaign literature when they're deciding who to vote for. That's why it's important that you submit a strong and effective candidate statement for the voter pamphlet, along with a professional-looking photograph. Where you submit your candidate statement depends on what office you are running for. Not all Oregon counties publish a voter's pamphlet, so your best bet is to ask the county clerk where you file. The deadline for submitting your candidate statement is usually a few days after the filing deadline. Be sure to find out when the submission deadline is and do not miss it. Once you figure out the deadlines, it's time to sit down and write your candidate statement. Your candidate statement is limited to 325 words, including some info that is required by law to be in there. These include your current occupation, your job history, your educational background, and whether you have any prior governmental experience. In addition to that required information, there are some things you really should make sure to include. A short biography, tell voters who you are. A short statement of your values to tell them what you believe. An example of what you'll do if you're elected, the "this is what I will fight for" quote, and then any endorsement from well-known community members. Remember, it's about quality over quantity, and you'll need to submit a signed endorsement statement for each endorser when you hand in your paperwork. These can be found at your county election offices. Finally, don't forget to include a photo. Be sure it's one with a plain background and without any uniforms, clothing, or accessories that could identify you as a member of an organization. The photo will be printed in black and white in the voter's pamphlet, so solid colors are always a safe bet. Some do's and don'ts to remember when you're writing your statement. Do use bullet points to break up blocks of text. Do use full names of organizations and places, but don't use acronyms. No jargon, please. Do write in the first person. Make it personal. As for don'ts, don't overuse underlines and bolding. Don't mention your opponent. Don't make statements on issues that aren't the responsibility of the office for which you are running. Finally, don't exaggerate your credentials. That's it. If you follow these clear, simple guidelines, you will be well on your way to submitting an effective candidate statement for the voter information pamphlet. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email us at campaign@dpo.org. We wish you the best of luck.
So do you want to stop that share? All right, so does anybody have comments about that or thoughts on seeing the video?
It's Melinda, and it was great. It went way too fast for me to take notes.
Okay.
So are we going to see those lists again somewhere?
Yes, you are. And you're going to also have a document. It's called Tips for a Voter Pamphlet Statement that has the video in it. And so that you can see it again, because I know that there's a lot of juicy stuff in there. Does anybody else want to make some comments? Thanks, Melinda.
And it's in the chat right now. The link to seeing it on YouTube is in the chat. Yes. Matt Farnham put it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to make a comment.
Jump in.
It's Peter. There's three areas that as you do the voters pamphlet, I think, and many of you as school board members are aware. One is the Oregon Quality Schools, to be aware of what those reports are. You can go on Google and get that information. The other one is IDEA, the Individuals for Disability Education Act. That's huge, but have information about that. And then the other is possibly look at STEM, which is the science, tech, and engineering and math, but it is really an engaging program. So those are things that maybe to fill in that people will to respond to.
So I don't quite understand that, Peter. What do you mean?
Well, as you're writing your voters pamphlet, there's things like quality schools that as people are, those kind of terms are people respond to the quality school notion. There are a lot of people out there concerned with IDEA, what's happening in with individuals with disabilities, what's happening out in the various communities, and being able to respond to that. And something in the voters pamphlet is helpful, I think. And then STEM is an engaging program. And those are things that maybe to consider as you're writing in the voters pamphlet.
And yet be careful again with acronyms. STEM is
Exactly. Stay away from the acronyms, but the concepts.
the concepts. Yeah, the concepts that come out of those can be
Yes.
helpful in writing the pamphlet statement.
For everyone to be clear, acronyms are where you're just getting the first initials. You instead are spelling out the organization or where you got your education, or, you know, rather than the shortcut nicknames.
Perfect. Good job. Any other thoughts on the video?
Now, we were going to review it anyway. Do you want to do that, or, you know, just go over this and then ask?
I think given the time, I think it might be good to just make it available for people, and they can get what they can out of it, or we can watch it again, of course, if we want, just to catch the ideas. But so I would like to turn to the template. Now, I asked my team to put this in the chat. So I'm
Yes.
going to talk to you about the pieces that are in the voter pamphlet, and it's a template, and I have it open, and I just wanted to talk through it. I made a template out of it, and just so that you could see kind of the key features of the template. I have two screens, that's why I keep looking over there. So I made this template to help. This would be the thing that we would use, and it's in the chat now so that you can download it, that shows kind of the structure of the voter pamphlet and a few of the criteria. I also, for Multnomah County, put the link to the actual requirements from Multnomah County Elections Board. Matt Farnham, you have a question, quick question?
Sorry, I think you'll need to grant us access. I don't have access to the document.
You'll get requests from all of us if we click the give us access thing.
Oh, okay. All right. You can't open it now? You
No.
cannot open it now.
If you just go to
So-
share there, Danelle, you can make it available for everybody.
Okay, down on the bottom, not
Yeah.
restricted.
Yeah.
Anyone with a link?
There you go.
Okay, done.
Yep.
Good.
That should
Thank
fix
got
it.
it. This is a team effort. I'm sorry. Okay, okay. Can everybody get it now? Yeah, okay. Just interrupt me if I do stuff like that, just say, hey, Danelle. Just, okay. So the so what we'd like you to do is possibly download this now. And ultimately, right before we go into the breakout rooms, we're going to talk a little more about what's in it, but to jot some notes. So there are parts of the voter pamphlet that are required and by law, and all of these have asterisks by them. The words themselves, like occupation, occupational background, ed background, prior government experience, do not count in your word count. And that's all described up here in this guidelines. You have to have a photo. She talked about that. It should be black and white, and no patterns on your clothing, no insignia, no hats, no uniforms or things. And it's a head and shoulder shot. And remember, it's going to be black and white. So try to make contrast with your clothing and the background, etc. And how to submit it is in, for Multnomah, I think this whole state uses this actually, is in this guideline, and what format is a JPEG or another kind of format for the photo. And So you're going to, this part of it is usually right next to the photo. What is your occupation? What is your background? What's your educational background and your prior government experience? The other part she mentioned in the um, in the video was that she suggests that, you know, you write a short bio, you have some statement of your values, and then you have say what you're going to fight for on in this section, this optional section. Um, and what we're going to do right before we go to breakout rooms is we'll have you jot some notes on these sections and then go into the breakout rooms and talk about what this means to you. What's important, I think, in in presenting yourself to voters is your story. What drives you? What motivates you? And it has to do with your values. It has to do with your background. It also has to do with what you want to fight for, what you want to change. All of those can be part of the voter pamphlet and can make a very strong statement. The bottom part is your endorsements. And the endorsements, I would be judicious in what you choose for endorsements, but endorsement is a formal, it has the procedure largely because we want the endorser, that state wants the endorser to sign off that they have endorsed you. And that's for legal reasons, I'm sure, but it's just generally polite, put somebody's name in there. We want to make sure that the state wants to make sure that they actually have endorsed you. So there's some forms that you have to fill out and the endorser has to sign. The fee for special district elections is only $25. Fee for other elections can be as high as $300 for state elections to just submit the voter pamphlet statement. And our group talked about some criteria. This is what Henry was saying, that we talked a bit about that we wanted it to be appealing, and some of that appeal would be that it's in the first person. I will do this, not we, but I will do this. This is my experience. It's readable, and some people, the bullet points help the reader get quick access to it. People don't have a lot of time to read long paragraphs, so you try to make it direct and clear and readable in that way. And make sure your goals and values that you talk about in the statement actually align with the office you're seeking. And that's kind of back to Peter's statement. If you're running for a school board, you want to talk about schools, school quality, your goals for schools, and that's what your job's going to be, and that's the kind of thing that you want to see in the voter pamphlet, and to make it authentic, your voice. And as a person who's helped people do writing in my job at the university and some of my consulting, I know that if whatever you think about first time, when you're thinking about this, is really important, these ideas. So that's your true self, kind of your unedited self in this early stage of writing the voter's pamphlet. Your writing may change as you go along, but it's important to really assess your own background, your values, and what you're going to fight for as you signed up to, put your name. You ran for something, you're running for something. It's really important to think about what you care about and have a voice. That's why I always start with what their initial kind of response to these items and then we refine it and rewrite it and think about it and share and read it to each other. And that's what we're going to do in a few minutes when we go into the breakout rooms. And I'm going to give you some time to work on this in this group, but not quite this minute. And then where you can go into the breakout rooms and continue your writing. So, are there any questions on that? Okay, I'm going to stop the share. The voter pamphlet template is in the chat, and I'm going to turn Zach. Are you ready to talk a little bit about quality of voter pamphlet statements?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, why don't you
I
go
mean,
ahead?
Jill, can I just add to people who can download that template from the chat right now? If you're near your printer and you can print it, and that will give, you'll be able to write right on it. Print a couple of copies so you can do your initial draft and your refinement.
Thank you, Eileen. Thank you very much. Okay, and Zach, you would probably need to make you a co-host. Do you have something to show?
Yeah, let me see. I think I can share.
So my team, oh, and Pam Shields has her hand raised.
Just a quick
And
question.
Sure.
I'm reading directly from the Joint County Voters Pamphlet Candidate Statement Instruction Sheet. All right. And under required information, next to last paragraph, page 1, all required information will be printed in plain text, no bold, caps, centering, underline, or bulleting.
Really?
So, yeah. And this is revised as of January 2025. The form has been revised. So this might be something we want to consider when we do write our statements and work today.
Wow. Okay. Very, very good. Thank you. Yeah, Matt.
Okay, that's probably good feedback for DPO because the video we saw specifically said to use bullet points, but I think it's 2 or 3 years old.
Yep. Yep. Okay. It's a moving target at this point. So read the guidelines carefully. But that doesn't mean. Go ahead, Matt. Thomas.
I was just going to say that contradicts, I put a link in there, it contradicts the 2025 district candidate guide. So it says we could use bold and bullets. I'm not trying to disagree.
Okay, well, we'll look at that when you guys are in the breakout rooms. I'll look at it and we'll try to see if there's a problem, what the problem is. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Stephanie. I was just going to say, it looks like there's different rules for optional versus required information. And the required information talks about no bold, but the optional below it does allow that stuff. So I think it depends on which section you're working in.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Jackson County, for example, said if you're listing multiple jobs, you have to put a semicolon between them. You don't list them like bulleted list of jobs. So in those occupational sections, they were specific about how to format it, but in the open bio, they weren't for Jackson County.
Great.
Yeah, that's true for Multnomah. I read it last night. Yes.
So there's 2 sections.
Yeah.
So
you put a semicolon between each of your, like, I did this, I did that. And if you don't, they will reformat it so it is like that. But when you get to your about me's, etc., then you can do bullets.
Okay, great.
And bold titles. Yeah.
Okay, so there's 2 sections. Kathy, did you have a quick comment?
Yeah, I think that sometimes bullets don't, depending on the computer, translate to whatever you send to your county. So sometimes it's just better to use asterisks or dashes, but we can get into that later.
Okay, yeah, that's more the
right now.
Kind of thing. Okay.
While we're sorry, I was going to say, while we're on the topic, I know one of our hot tips was that bullets and dashes are superior to numbers because the numbers will count against your word count, whereas a dash or a bullet will not. So keep in mind that doing numbered lists is going to cost you a few words there.
Right.
You enlarge that, Zach,
we
so
can't
we can
see
see it.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to ask. Let's see.
If anybody can do it, Zach can do it.
Yeah, I can make it to there.
Okay.
I can't make this window any bigger. Is that okay for everybody?
It could be better.
Bigger, let's see. 75. How's that? Is that legible?
Do 200%. Just go for it. Just
I
go
was
for
gonna-
it.
I was going to say.
Perfect. That's much better.
The kind of intention I had in this section wasn't to critique anybody's voice or grammar or anything like that, but rather kind of the first impression, the kind of the layout and presentation of these entries. I've gone through a couple of the past years pamphlets and kind of pulled out a couple here that, while not bad by any means, I think are kind of missing some of the core components that we've talked about, or are kind of missing the ball in terms of formatting, like we saw in the video and kind of been discussing here. And then I'll have a couple of examples that I think are very, kind of good looking at first impression. And I think we can kind of, chat amongst ourselves in terms of, what's really stands out to all of you, and kind of go from there. I tried to hide the identities of everybody that I used here for the non-examples to, kind of maintain privacy. If anybody recognizes anybody, absolutely, no offense. None of these are particularly bad by any means. They just have a couple of things useful for our purposes here. Yeah, I was intending to be able to kind of show the whole thing at once on screen, so I'm kind of sad I can't do that. Actually, hold on one second. Let me full screen. That helps a little bit, I guess. Okay, let's go ahead and read this first one. I'll give you all a few seconds, and then I'll scroll down, and you can read the second half. And then if anybody has a comment on what they think might improve, we can kind of
And
go through
also
that.
what works, what seems to work too for them.
Sure. Yeah. Positive comments certainly welcome.
My comment would be if you scrolled up a little, because occupation and background, that's going to be kind of standardized. Let us see the rest.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.
There we go. That's all of it
yeah.
anyways.
Zach, I would mention that the name of a university or college is mentioned. Sometimes colleges with the same name exist in multiple places. So you might want to identify where that college is, if it is possible that somebody might be confused. That's up to you.
I'm not sure what you mean, Henry. I was trying to blur out anything that might be identifying here. This, I wasn't sure what you mean there.
I'll clarify. In the statement of college, university on the above, the name of the college is identified, but not its location. Sometimes there are Concordia universities in many states or many cities.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, that's a good thing to point out before we skip that section, that if there are multiples of your colleges, it might behoove you to mention the location and pinpoint that. Thanks, Henry.
On the other hand, if it butts up against your word count, I would cut those words out.
Yeah, Kathy's correct. So, give it some thought. If you think it's unique and not important, just don't waste extra words.
Yep, perfect.
Do we want to have people comment on what they do and don't notice about this? Or are you going to comment? Or
Yeah, I was just giving everybody a few seconds to read it, but if anybody has comments, I'd love to kind of start with the field here, and get any comments, pros or cons. What'd you like? What you didn't like?
I love that this is easy to read. It's pretty clear. I personally find bullet points really helpful in organizing thoughts, and I like that there's a clear personal values and endorsement. So I like it.
Yeah, that was one of the pros I wrote down as well. They did a great job with spacing, bullet points. They made it very clear, which section we were in, except at the bottom there, I thought it was maybe a little confusing that they had the endorsed by and then another section of, kind of personal prose there. I'm not sure I would put that at the bottom in the endorsed section. I think they look cleaner when the endorsed section is kind of the end and it's just a list. But definitely, I think they did a great job with spacing everything out here.
One thing that I read somewhere that's a real struggle for me is that the average citizen reads at the 8th grade level, and that is not the way that I write typically. So this one I do think is written in a way that would be easy for someone who reads at that level to read through. And I think that's going to be a big revision point for me because I tend to write a little wordier than that.
Zach, I'd like to comment that I'm not sure I'm as comfortable as others might be with the statements in the third person.
Yep, exactly. I was going to mention there, they're not using any I's or me's. It's a little bit, it does feel a little bit dry and impersonal without that first person. Good catch there, Henry.
And a
Yeah,
statement like
it's
accountability matters, I think people might scratch their heads.
well,
I'm
again, when
also-
you're limited to 325 words, you cut out little words and you cut out a lot of things. So, you know, you want to cut it to the essence. I believe accountability matters. I mean, they wouldn't have put accountability matters if they didn't believe it themselves, right? So it's also sort of superfluous in a bulleted thing like this. So you've got to be concise. It's hard. It does look a little, you know, third person, but it also just boom, 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 stating their values. That's the way you're going to end up having to do it given the overall word count.
Kathy, how would you feel about I will be accountable?
So I've worked on a lot of voter pamphlet statements, and that I will be is 3 words you could be using for something else.
Amen.
That's
Yep.
also important.
Yep.
So you could do things that matter to me, you know, accountability, whatever, you know, but I think if you could, these are clunky to read. I think people understand that when they read them, and you really just want people to get a sense of who you are. And just with 300 words, you don't need to be repeating I and things like that over and over.
What do you all feel about like a call to action type of language where, I mean, this is good, but it's all just mostly biographical and it's stuff that I would think is fairly boilerplate. You could read 3 candidates that all look the same in terms of I support students and teachers, and here's, you know, my involvement with schools, but something that resonates with people to get them up off and say like, oh, this is what the person's going to do that's different, or addressing an issue that's not being addressed.
Yep, Eric, you win the prize here. That was my number one critique on this one, that while they have a great, you know, statement of bios and we know about their values here, there's really no discussion of policy. There's no sense of what their, you know, that they, you know, have a firm grasp of, you know, the policies and things that are important to school boards, and not really any kind of statement translating you know, their bio and their values into action. So, yep, that was my number one here.
So
Kathy, I think you.
I'm
Do you
always
have another one that we can compare and contrast?
Yeah,
to
do you have one that we can, the good one?
Yeah, I had a couple quick ones here that I think these will be a little bit more obvious in terms of just like obvious first impressions here. You know, this one I found, you know, it's almost impossible to get engaged with a giant wall of text. You know, I think, you know, I see something like this and I'm, you know, probably done reading a couple of lines in. I don't know where it's going. I don't know if it's worth my time. But yeah, I've got a couple of good ones I'll show here as well. One more. Oh, sorry, was there a question?
I was just going to make a comment, but you nailed it. It's like when you see that big wall of text, you're like, oh boy, do I really have to really delve into all of this? So yeah, but you made that point. Thanks.
Yeah, and I will add to that as people are thinking about their formatting and what they will write, that when I read the voters pamphlet, I read it all. And when I'm ready to do my ballot, sometimes I'm trying to decide between 2 people and I go back and forth. I go back and read it again. And if it's very hard with something like that, a big chunk of nonstop narrative to pick it out, to, pick out what was it that caught my eye, or how do these two people compare?
Yep. Nail on the head there, Eileen. I think it's not something that's approachable. I think, and Diggy said, you wouldn't really feel like coming back to it. Two more quick examples, I think, of common mistakes or, formatting things that I would choose to improve. This one's got a really nice bio here, but then it's got acres and acres of endorsements, which I think is really kind of a waste in these situations. I think quality over quantity was mentioned earlier, and this is a really common mistake as people get, I think, they get excited that they have a whole bunch of endorsements and, all these names and organizations are great, but we really get a much less sense of, what they're going to fight for. They really only have a chance to say, this is kind of me in a very short, short belief statement. No chance to, really get into much policy and kind of show us that they really have a firm grasp on things here. So something to be aware of.
Can I make one comment? If you scroll back up, scroll up,
Sure.
Zach, stop. Okay. So see that second paragraph, first something about the values, and I haven't read it all, but I pledge to fight for. I want to take this opportunity to point out that it's important to say what you'll fight for, or what you'll do, or what you'll work on or work toward, but not to promise this will happen, because you can't promise that. I mean, you can't promise that unless you're a magician. Usually, and you're working with other people or with voters, and so you can only say what you will work on for your constituents.
Yep. Great comment, Eileen. I think, yeah, balancing that feasibility and ability, with kind of the grandiose promises is important. You don't want to sound too full of yourself.
Well, you don't want to sound like you're out of touch with the reality of your role. And in that, relating back to the video, to reiterate that I've seen a ballot measure where the person just laid out all of her wish list for the world, and I liked her, but it wasn't about what she could do within the role she was running for, and so stick to that.
It's Melinda again, and I turned off my video because I've lost you guys 3 times in Zoom, so hoping this will help. But Kenna just said in the chat that she likes more endorsements, and at some point in the next hour, will I have a chance to talk to somebody about that philosophy? Because where I am, my thought is that endorsements are going to be equally important to what I have to say as far as my values.
Yeah.
So is this the time to?
So
orbit, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say in my experience, one of the first things people look to in the voters pamphlet is the endorsements list.
Yeah.
So it is important to have things there if you can.
Oh, and 100%. I wasn't trying to discourage endorsement lists by any means.
And I agree that other one was like way too long. I agree, but yeah.
Well, if all you got is your neighbor, like list them by all means, but like you don't have to list every single person. But I do want to see like big, people that are important to the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Represent my values.
The other thing that's happened here in Corbett is this should be nonpartisan, but it is not.
Sure.
And so
100%.
we have a division going on. And I am definitely on one side of the division. And there are a lot of people on the other side, but I know them and I have talked to them and I've gotten their endorsements. So what I'm thinking is that it's important to have a balance of people in the community that folks know, oh, this person's pretty conservative, Okay, this person's pretty liberal. And look at here, here's another conservative and another liberal, and just how, I don't know, is there an error
Absolutely.
in my thinking?
No, endorsements can be also shorthand. Absolutely, they can be
Yeah.
shorthand for your values, and you have someone else basically co-signing on you want to see different gun laws, you want to see different particular school policies. Like it's just, yeah, it's often a very, very, very good use of space, and you want to be able to get people know and will try to endorse you before the voter pamphlet deadline. They talk about that very seriously. So, yeah.
I am spending all my time on that right now.
I think what we're
that's
illustrating here is that you are going to make some individual value differences about your submission. And all of this is suggestions, except the rules about what you can and can't put in. Yeah, so you'll have to decide that. I look at endorsements, some people might not. They just might want to see the final statement. This is what I will do in this role. And I, you know,
Yeah, it's definitely, personal taste. If you've got 15 great endorsements, definitely not trying to discourage, using them all. Just something I noticed while going through a whole bunch of these, that there were, considerable number of folks that I felt kind of curtailed their own message to, list all these endorsements. And this is actually cut off a little bit. I think there's another couple down there in the screenshot. So yeah, 100%, not trying to discourage endorsements, just want to make sure, that it's balanced. And, I think, having a list this long, as, 2/3 of your space is, sometimes, just feels a little bit like that block of text we saw before, right? That there's a whole bunch here. And you might not even see the one that matters to you in a list this big.
I don't want to be rude, but I want to point out that we're running
Yeah.
overtime. And if we want people to have experience, then
Yeah.
probably we should wrap this up.
All right. Yeah. My last one here, really the lesson was, if everything's bold, then nothing's bold. Use your bolding, selectively. If you just bold every single thing, then you've kind of wasted your chance to create some emphasis. And things like, bolding the bullet content instead of the actual dividers here, and not having space. The bolding really squeezes everything together, makes it feel cramped. Just the lesson here really is just, be careful with the bolding and use it sparingly. So I'm sure we can look at good examples later. I know we're short on time, so thanks everybody for going on this journey with me.
Thank you, Zach, very much. And we have okay, so I think it's 6:08. We're going until 7. We only have an hour. So I have a feeling that maybe what we should do now is actually go into the breakout rooms and have you spend a little bit of time jotting some notes on that template if you have the time. And then what I want the tech team to do is to make me 7 breakout rooms. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because of the number of people in the room, I have been spending the last few minutes trying to get everybody into breakout rooms, rather than do it randomly, trying to get people from different communities together, and also to use the resources that we have with our group. So, and I'm going to talk first about the leaders if we have 8 breakout rooms, when we have the breakout rooms, I want. Hi, folks. Those, as you come back with the facilitators, please put your email and your phone number in the chat for people to connect with you. I also send it out, but if you want them to get it right away, it would be nice if it's in the chat for people that were in the sessions. How to go? Thumbs up, okay? Work was great. Pretty good for people?
Super
I like to
helpful.
see thumbs up. 2 thumbs up is even better.
Not long enough.
Pretty early.
Of course, as a teacher, you know, I used to say, how did it go? And I'll just say yes. Now, tell me how it really went. So I will be sending you, I see a heart, that's good. I will be sending out a survey, a short, very short, 3-question survey, 4-question survey, anonymous to you, so that you can give us some feedback. This is the first time we've done this. I think it's actually a pretty good idea. We had a good response. So do put your, for the facilitators, please put your email and your phone number in the chat so people can get in touch with you. It looks like not everybody's back, or some people left. And I hope that was a good time, enough time. We're winding up now. I've got set 6:53. I wanted to share one document as you people are coming back with you. Where did it go? There was this. That I will be sending out. It's called Tips and Links for the Voter Pamphlet, creating your voter pamphlet. And I just wanted to walk you through it. Can you see it? Everybody, it's a Google Doc. And what it has, I'll be sending it out. It has the required 4 sections. This first section is links to Multnomah County election voter pamphlet statements. And so you can directly go to those. I also put in links to historical voter pamphlets if you wanted to take a gander. These are all only special district election voter pamphlets. They're in Multnomah County file, but sometimes it's hard to find stuff. So I thought I'd make it easy on you. This is the video, Democratic Party of Oregon. This is the one you watched. And this is a series of videos for the Voter Activation Network, which is the Democratic Party's list of all voters in the state of Oregon. And it is a totally invaluable tool in terms of running your campaign and focusing your efforts on the people, on talking to voters or emailing voters or phoning voters. And you can make phone lists and email lists. And the videos help you do this. There is a charge for it. For Multnomah, it's $250 for the use of this voter activation network for this election. Other counties, I don't know what happens with VAN in those counties, but I know in Multnomah. And there is a link. Jose Gamero is the person to talk to, or you can email me and I'll get you into the chain of communication to get onto VAN. Extremely valuable, given that resources are limited, time is limited, and you want to lock in first those voters that vote always, the Democrats who always vote in special elections. You got to go after those. Make sure they know you, they're in touch with you, you have made a commitment to them, and they know who you are. The second group is any non-affiliated voters who have a progressive score, and our database will tell you that. And then you can contact those people, you can canvass those people, you can email those people, you can call those people, just lock those folks in for yourself. And then you can start canvassing in different neighborhoods where there are Dems. And that vote van will help you do all of that very efficiently. Your time is so, you only have what, 60 days now about until the election. So you've got to be pretty busy. I will also send you a list of that I got from another candidate training of setting up a campaign. I got it from Moms Demand Action. And I've been taking that training for candidates, and it lists some of the steps you need to take to set up your campaign and to make it effective. We are all in this together, and I appreciate all the team members' contributions to this event. And we were just talking about the recording. We're going to be sending out a recording if you want it. Not if you want it, I'm just going to send it out, and then you can use it or not use it, whatever you want to do with it. And you can also email me and call me at any time. I put my phone number everywhere. Because I'm available to help you or point you in a direction that you need and answer questions. Okay.